Hi guys, today is the day 3 session. In this session, I will explain the Spring Boot layers and annotations. This is very simple session. It is very easy. So in the Spring Boot, in the real-time applications, how we are dividing into the layers. Okay, controller, service, and DAO. What is the use, and what are the annotations we are using? I am going to explain that one. Okay, these three annotations I will explain: controller, service, and @repository. Okay guys, you see here in the last day 2 session I have explained this one. In the last session I have explained this one, right? The few annotations I have explained, the methods, HTTP methods, get mapping, post mapping, patch mapping, this and all I have explained, but everything I have written into the controller. There is no service layer, there is no DAO layer. Okay, now I am dividing into the layers. Okay, I am dividing into the 3 layers. What are those? Let me show you. Okay, one is controller layer. Controller is already ready. So you see guys, this is already ready, right? So endpoint, it is already ready, but this business logic, right? This business logic, so I am keeping into the service layer. Okay, which one is this one is the service layer. Okay, in the service and service implementation, this is the interface and this is the class. Okay, service and service implementation class. Okay, this is the service implementation class. We are going to write a business logic. Okay, here this is the DAO layer or repository layer. So this layer is responsible to this layer is responsible to interact with the database, either storing into the database or retrieving the data from the database. This is the responsibility of the DAO layer, nothing else. But what is the important things here? Service layer is the very important, because all business logic we are writing into here. For example, I will give one use case. So you are sending money to your friend account. Okay, suppose if you send some amount, so they will charge some amount, right? Something they will deduct from bank side, the commission or whatever. So that kind of business logic you will write here in the service layer, or sending the account, to which account to send, if suppose if it is not sent, how to roll back, this and all, right? This logic you will write here. This is only interact with the database. So what it will give the phone, what it will give the update of the database, something else. Okay, this one insert into the database, something else. Okay, only interact with the database. This is very important. This is a controller. Controller is nothing but just handling the request and response, nothing else. So whatever the request comes to the request, right? Whatever request it comes, the controller, it will pass to the service layer. Okay, in the service layer we are writing the business logic, so it will execute everything into the business logic. So after final result, so we are going to keep into the database. So it will come like this. So it will insert into the database. Okay, so once you get the result, either success or failure, whatever, right? Then again it will come to here, and again it will come to the controller, and controller to an user interface. Okay, here user. Okay, this is the request and this is the response. The controller is nothing but just handling the requests, nothing else. Here nothing we are going to write. So whatever the request, just we are passing to the service layer. Again it will go to the it will execute, and final results it will give into the DAO layer. It will interact with the database to store or update. Then after inserting or update, then it will give this result. Then this response, it will come to the user. Okay, this is the real time we are using. Okay, for learning this and all nothing, but real time, right? So we are dividing into the 3 layers. Okay, this is controller. You see, this one is controller, this one is service layer, this one is DAO layer. Okay, I've written clearly service, controller, service, and DAO. Okay, I will take one simple example. The controller is ready with us in the day 2 session. The previous session I already explained. Controller is ready. Endpoints, we already have the endpoints, but business logic I haven't written here. Okay, but in this session, so what I will do, I will explain only these layers. So how to write the logic and all. Okay, next session I will explain interact with the database. So how to interact with the database, either JDBC template or Hibernate template. Okay, JPA repositories. Okay, there are multiple ways. So that thing I will explaining into the upcoming session, but in this session just I'm explaining about this layers. Okay, I'm not going to interact with the database in this session. The next session I will explain how to interact with the database, how to write the business logicals. Okay, now come here guys, you see here controller is ready, this layer is ready, it is under this package, controller package. Now what we do, so we will create one DAO and service. I mean this layer and this layer. Layer is nothing but separate package, so I'm going to create one package. Okay, this package DAO and IMPL, and I'm creating one more package that is for service and IMPL. Guys, you see here, right? I will show you how it looks like. Okay, open in Finder. Okay, this is the DAO, right? Okay, now in the controller, sorry, in the application, if you come to the controller, this is the demo, this is the controller, this is DAO, inside DAO IMPL. Okay, like this. Yeah, controller, this is controller, this is for service, and this is for DAO. So under IMPL I've written. Okay, this is DAO and DAO only IMPL. Okay, DAO IMPL. Okay, so what I do, first I will write the DAO IMPL. I'm creating a class name is MEMP DAO IMPL. Okay, this come here, this EMP DAO IMPL which implements from DAO. Okay, implements EMP DAO, but EMP DAO not yet created, right? This interface, let me create more action and create employee DAO under which package? DAO. Okay, fine. Now you see here under DAO is the interface, EMP DAO is the interface, and inside implementation DAO IMPL is the class. Okay, that is fine. Similarly, I am creating into the service implementation. EMP service IMPL which implements EMP service. Okay, this is not yet created, I'm creating. Now you see under service, okay, I'm creating an interface. Guys, you see here, this is a controller. Controller is already ready, this class is already ready, endpoints, and this is the service, employee service. Okay, and this is the interface. This interface implements to this service class. Okay, and this is the DAO, this is also interface. This EMP DAO implements to this class. Okay, the basic structure is ready. Okay guys, now so I'm writing one method which returns the list of employees. I'm returning. Wait, before going to here, we need to add few annotations. What are the annotations? Here in the DAO layer or repository layers, I'm writing this @repository. Okay, and here in the class, here I am using @service. This two. Okay, now you see in the this is controller layer, right? Under controller package, whatever it is. Okay, see here I'm using this @REST controller. In Spring 1.x we are using @controller. After 1.x, I mean Spring 2.x onwards also we are using this REST controller. Okay, and the service come to the service. This is the class. Okay, in the class service implementation class, on top of it @service, because this is the service layer. Okay, under DAO implementation, this is the class. You see, this is the class. So @repository, on top of this class we are mentioning @repository annotation. Now you are clear, right? Okay, now you see here the REST controller, @REST controller in this layer, here @service, and here @repository, 3 layers. Okay, now it is ready. Okay, let me write one simple method. Okay, now let me, okay, I need let me take employee object. Employee object is not yet ready. I will write. Okay, employee. Okay, create a class employee. Where will create? Under demo. What is this? DTO or whatever. Okay, the class is ready. The class having few private. I am taking ID as a string. Usually we'll take integer, but this time I am taking everything as a string, and the name, employee name, and phone number, right? What is the phone number? Okay, you can take that is also string. Okay, phone number. Okay, now three variables. Let's generate setters and getters. Okay, now okay, this is employee object is ready. Okay, now list java.util, and I need to return the list, right? Return. Okay, what I need? List of employees, list equal to list.of. Okay, let me create objects. Okay, let me add constructor. So I will pass through constructor instead of setters method. That is easy. Where is the constructor? Okay, right? Okay, I can new employee ID 1 and employee name name 1 and phone number 111. Okay, one object I have created, and one more object also I am going to create. Okay, this is 2 and employee number 2 and 2. Okay, how many objects I have created? 2 objects I have created and added into the list. The list of this is Java 11 feature. So instead of that, if you want, you can write your own way, either Java 8 or before, something your choice. Okay, now I am returning this list. Guys, directly I am hard coding here. In generally we will connect it to the database, but this time I am not connecting to database. I hard coded here. The next upcoming session I will explain the database. I mean, how to insert the database or how to fetch the database. These things I will explain. Okay, yeah. Now I am returning the list. Okay, let me override this. Over. Okay, now anyway. Okay, now you go to interface. So in interface it came. Okay, now it came. The similarly, yeah, now DAO layer is ready. In DAO layer I have hard coded these values, so it will return to the service layer again it will return to the controller. I will show you here. This is ready, so I am not going to interact with the database directly. I hard coded here. This it will return to service implementation. So what we need to call from service layer. Okay, the same. Okay, let me write this one. Okay, and where is the service? Go to the service interface. I am adding the same. Okay, now implement. Okay, now so we need to call from service to DAO, we need to call, right? So what we need to use in generally, guys, here in the Java we have the two classes. Okay, the class A, class B. So this class B having one method. If you want call this method in this class, what we will do, we will create an object for this class B and we will call the method, right? So the b equal to new B, then we are calling this method, right, using new operator. But here in the Spring, so we are using @autowired. Okay, emp DAO okay, you can mention like this and use this autowired. If you mention this autowired, so what it will do, it will call the method of employee DAO implementation. You see here it is coming, right? It is coming. So what it comes, yeah, get employee. Okay, suppose if it is not there, then it will give an issue. Okay, even if autowired is not there, then it won't call. Okay, so autowired is like a in simple words, we are creating an object like new using new operator, right? The same thing it works. Okay, this it will detect the Spring container and it will internally it will understand. Okay, this is enough. So this employee DAO it will call to this interface and this is the implementation class. Okay, now service layer also ready. Okay, now guys, you see here this is ready. We hard coded the data and we are calling from service implementation, and once we call the data it will return to here. Okay, but this service also it will return to controller, right? Yeah, come to the controller. From controller onwards we need to call this one. Come to the controller. Okay, for I want to use this one, right? emp service and use the autowired. Okay, okay, the same. Let me change similar, get emp instead of emp name, get emp. Okay, now yeah, let me call service method get emp. Okay, now this is ready, but okay, the list of employees, now this is ready. Okay, as of now I have written only one API, that is for get emp. Okay, so let me explain this first. So the request came to controller, that this controller it will go to the service service layer to DAO, and DAO it will return to service, and service again it will return to the controller. The same thing I will show you here. You see here the request it comes to controller. Okay, if you hit get emp from the postman, the request it comes to here. Again it will, where it will go, it will go to, you see here, service layer. You see this is the service. Okay, under package. Okay, this implementation class it will come to here. Okay, again where it will go, this is emp DAO, right? If you, yeah, you see here it will come to this implementation class, and finally it will return the result. So where it will go, it will return to service layer. It will return to here. Again this service implementation it will return to here. This is the layers. Okay, now what we learn here, @autowired. Okay, and @service. for service implementation class, not interface. You see here class, implementation class, okay, and come here emp DAO implementation class. On top of the DAO implementation class @ repository I mentioned. Okay, let me run this application and I will show you. Let it run. Now it is running here. Okay, now application started on 8080 port number. Okay, open this Postman. Okay, before, right, I have changed this endpoint. What is the endpoint? Come here. This is the get emp is the endpoint. Okay, get emp. Let me change get emp and send. Guys, you see here the request, it came to the controller first. It came, right? Click on the next. Where it is going? It is going to the service implementation class. This is the service layer. Okay, click on. It will go to the next here. Okay, where it is coming from? DAO layer. Okay, go to the line by line. Now the list, it contains the two objects. You see, these are the objects. Okay, these two objects, and returning to where? Service. So it is returning to the service layer. This is employee service IMPL. Okay, now it is returning to where? Controller. Okay, now come here. You see, guys, here this is the response. Okay, this is the endpoint. Get emp is the endpoint. This endpoint, it will return this response in the JSON format. Right? You are clear? Yeah. In this session, I have explained only these layers: controller, service, and DAO. And next upcoming session, I will explain to connect the database using templates, JDBC template. Okay, how to connect, so how to retrieve the data, insert the data, and all I will explain. Thank you.